Hello, it's Erica and Jacob, and today is Wednesday. I think, yes, it's Wednesday. March Madness Wednesday, which is exciting for us in Indiana because we're doing very well in the tournament, so hopefully we'll win something tonight, I think. I'm obviously not a big sports fan, but I do support the Hoosiers. But today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what it's like to be a work-at-home mom. So Jacob is 4 months old now, and I love him to pieces, and he's wonderful. But it's not always easy to work from home with a baby, as you know. And when he was born, we didn't really have a plan on what we were going to do. I had signed him up for daycare because apparently that's a very competitive thing. The daycare I wanted, they were apparently already filled up a year in advance, and they said, oh, do you want to put him in the 1-year-old class? And I was like, well, I'm not really ready to think about him being 1 since he's not yet born, but so we'll hold off on that. So we had to put his name in a placement at a daycare. But after he was born, I decided I couldn't stand to put him in daycare all day, especially when I have the privilege and the ability to be able to work from home. So for the I went back to work first of all when he was only 6 weeks old, but I work from home, so that's why I was able to do that. If I went into an office, there's no way I would have gone back that early, and even now having done it, I think going back that early was probably too early. But now here we are, and he's 4 months, and I've been working full-time since then. And so here's kind of what my day looks like. So normally Jacob, well, he's been sleeping through the night basically for a few weeks now, which is amazing. When I say sleeping through the night, I mean he is very restless and kicks a lot, and I don't sleep very well, but he does not wake up and eat during the night, which is nice, but hopefully we'll get to a point where I can also sleep even when he's sleeping. So I get up around 5 o'clock, and Rick gets up around 4:30, and basically I spend about 2.5 good hours working from 5 o'clock to 7:30 or so when Jacob finally does get up for the day. So I really cram a lot into those 2.5 hours because I know that time is precious. And then he gets up around 7:30 or so. I feed him, rock him, play with him a little bit. And then he's actually really happy to play by himself on his little activity mat for, a good hour. I sit next to him on the computer and I work, and he's just a happy little guy in the mornings, which is awesome for me. And then 3 days a week, I have a babysitter that comes around 10 o'clock, and she works from 10 to 3 or 4. And those times, believe it or not, that chunk of time goes by faster than any chunk of time I've ever seen go by. But I know that I have so much work to pack in there. So sometimes I stick around the house then, because I have a nice computer to work on here. But sometimes it's hard because when I hear him crying, I really want to go in and get him and see him, and I just can't do that or I won't get my work done. So a lot of times I go down to Barnes & Noble, or even just putting my headphones on helps me out a lot. So having childcare a few times a week really is a huge help, obviously. And I also am able to get in a quick workout when she's here, which is awesome because I honestly find that getting a run in or getting a workout in is so good for my mental, clearing my mind and being able to work and get things done and come up with good ideas. Since I work in a creative field, it's important to me to have that. So I cram that in. I definitely spend a lot less time working out than I used to when the babysitter's here. And then those 2 days that I don't have a babysitter are a lot harder, but thankfully I've been trying to get him on a nap schedule, and if all goes as planned, he's going to be napping 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon, plus those 2 hours he gives me in the morning, and then the other hour where he's playing. That really gives me a lot of time to get a lot of work done. And then Rick gets home around 3:30 or 4, so anything I haven't finished I can do later at night. And I work in the field of news and politics, so it's pretty much 24/7. So you'll find me on my computer pretty late at night a lot of times doing work while we are watching TV or eating dinner, which can be annoying for a spouse but it is necessary to get my job done, and I'm so thankful that I have a job where I'm able to work from home. And I also just am thankful that so far I haven't needed to have full-time childcare. I mean, I have to say it's hard even having a babysitter. Like, I really hate even leaving him in the other room, believe it or not. And when I leave and go work at Barnes & Noble, I come home and I feel like I haven't seen him in so long, and I just miss him so much. And I guess that looks different for everyone. I mean, right now, you know, I've thought about the daycare thing because, you know, cost effective, it's a lot more cost effective, and I could get a lot more done and have a lot more flexibility, but it's just, for me right now, it's just not worth it, and I just feel so lucky to have such a flexible, awesome job that I actually really like as well. So it's kind of hard. It's like I love my job and I love being a mom and I love doing all these things, but I can't, you know, do everything, you know, 100% all the time. So anyways, everything kind of feels like a juggling act most of the time. And my work is just constantly requiring me to be creative and think of new things, and just as the news happens, like come up with a new idea, or, you know, if something happens on a Sunday, like be ready, you know, to do something with that as well. So it's kind of nonstop, but luckily I really like it. But so far, being a work-at-home mom is really a dream that I never thought would be something I could have, you know. Coming from Washington, D.C., I just figured I'd be working in an office and doing that whole thing, and that's what it would be. But, you know, we unexpectedly ended up moving here to Indiana, and thankfully I was able to keep my job at National Review, which I love, and, you know, here we are making it work. And what will this look like as he gets older and he's able to start moving around, and, you know, he doesn't nap as much or whatever. I don't know what that's gonna look like. But for now, this is how it's been, and, you know, we'll see what the next season brings. And Jacob, say hi. Say hi, bud. Yep, so anyways, so that's me working from home, and that's it. So thanks.